was already so formal and so serious. Just giving job interview. This
Job
isn't what
interview
you
is
Well,
crazy.
do. You guys
shouldn't you
relax.
shouldn't you be serious?
Psh,
I'm gonna miss these weekly check-ins.
I
How's
am
everyone doing?
dangerously
How's everyone?
unserious. It's why my ex left me.
What?
Please,
Bro, what?
that's three weeks in a row that we've somehow ended up talking about exes.
Bro.
What can I say?
Should we just cancel the episode and just focus on that? Maybe
Let's
there's
just rehash our history.
there's stuff that needs to be resolved.
Maybe this
Who's on
should
your
be
mind?
a therapy session. Maybe.
Yeah, but do you need to expunge some things before you're able to fully commit to a new relationship? Do you want to talk about
Mm,
that?
I don't know, man. I think I'm just too Yoruba at the core of it.
Wow. What's your attachment style?
I don't know, man.
First
I've
date
tried all
questions.
of them.
You've tried.
You have all of
I don't
them.
think you
What do you
try.
mean?
You tried
I
all
don't
of
think
them
you
in the
try
same.
them.
Dude.
You don't just wear them like a new shirt. But
Man,
okay,
the skill issue.
okay. You have too
Man,
much, too much skill.
Too blessed, too gifted, too
Yeah, too
Yoruba.
much love to
What do you
give.
shit.
I
mean?
get it. I get it. Your inner Ayo is wants to jump out. I get
I'm
it.
screaming.
Yeah,
I'm crying. I
Inner
left
Josh
me.
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Josh is Yoruba as well. Fair.
Yeah.
Hashtag representation. Okay. Everyone good to start?
Pretty
Bolo,
good.
anything else you want to
Get off
Nah,
your
get off
I
your
just have
chest.
to
chest?
loosen up, gang. Everybody has to loosen up a bit. You guys are a little too serious.
Oh, okay. We'll talk less. Well, don't worry. I'm sure we'll loosen up
We'll liven up as
as
we
the
go
episode. Well,
across.
first of all, everybody should be live in. Do you want?
Everyone should be livened.
That
Yeah.
episode was crazy. No cap.
It was
Like,
crazy. I think I watched it too long ago.
well, then that's just a terrible way to start this conversation,
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
Oh,
like, why
seriously.
did you say that?
Like,
What do you mean too long ago?
No,
like
by too long ago, I mean like 2 days ago instead of yesterday.
Oh, fair.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
don't know why you guys said fair enough. Not fair enough. Like, I don't. Anyway, okay. Let's talk about the episode. At least those of us that can remember anything in it.
No. So my thing is like, I think I watched like Game of no, not I watched House of the Dragon, and then I watched The Boys, and then I watched something else. I can't remember what it is that I watched. It was a lot for me one night. I shouldn't have done that. It was
What made you do that? What's going on?
I, I don't know, man.
Okay.
I mean, as a professional, you should be able to give them back
Yeah,
to
I was
back
gonna
and not
say
feel any way.
you're not
I
sounding like a professional
know.
TV watcher. Like,
I don't know what's going on. I think I'm having an existential crisis. I think that's what's
oh,
going on.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the
The
boys.
Boys? He's like, fuck your mental health. Let's talk about this TV show.
Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast, and welcome to the new age of superheroes. We're here. We're back to destroy your heritage and feminize your men. And guys, joining me one final time in this woke agenda, please don't ask them about their suspicious investment in that Nevada steakhouse. It's Bolu Osegale and Chia Gozem. Welcome back. How you guys doing?
First of all, just for the record, I don't have any suspicious investments anywhere. In case FBI
It's
listening.
fine. They've Butcher explained their business model and it makes sense. I understand why you're investing. And what did he say? They bring out. Actually, you know what? I cannot say what he said. I just remembered what he said.
I don't know, man. It
Um,
seems like you are projecting right now. I don't know, man.
you know what? A
Actually,
steakhouse that has their baps out while they're bringing out your burgers sounds like a good business investment. I understand why Butcher was so enthused to go there. It makes sense.
that's
I'm sure
true.
they're still open. How you guys doing?
I'm good.
Good.
So guys, are we ready to talk about this episode?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking in. I'm just checking in everybody. I'm just
You're like
checking in
in
everybody.
school when the teacher singles you out.
Yeah, just like I don't know, just making sure. Just making sure. Guys, we're gonna talk about the season 4 finale of The Boys.
Hmm.
Before all of that, as you hopefully know, House of the Dragon is airing. We are covering it on this podcast as well. Please check in for that. We're in the back half of the season now. We have 2 episodes on The Bear season 3 coming out tomorrow. So they cover the entire season. So please check that out as well if you want to consume more content about The Bear season 3. Uh, then I'll try and have a little break and then we'll be back for Industry, August 11th, Industry season 3. So yeah, buckle up.
I'm coming
Yeah,
back for industry.
you just plant your flag.
Yes,
Um,
I did.
okay. Uh, yeah, and also please subscribe to the newsletter. The link is in the description wherever you're listening to this or watching this. We have some stupid ideas coming up that hopefully we get to pull off. And if you've liked this podcast run on the boys, if you've tolerated us, please rate us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and please like and subscribe on YouTube.
Can't they do both?
Well, it's very rare that people both listen and watch, but I guess yeah,
I
you,
do.
you can do both. Well, thank you. Thanks for the support. Yeah, you can do both as if you feel like. But you know what? Just one is fine. Just anything, please. Don't get me my begging bag. Let's talk about the season
Alright.
finale of The
When
Boys,
did you learn to
titled.
beg?
I'm
Anyhow,
always
sorry.
I'm always begging. Look,
That's
right? It's a
that's not
capitalist world. We need.
um
I need. We need help. Season 4 finale titled Assassination Run, written by Jessica Shu and David Reed, and directed by showrunner and co-creator Eric Kripke. Um, do you guys think? Like, I'll open it up to you guys. Can tell me what you want to do. Should we talk about our thoughts on this episode and then thoughts on the season, or have them in one like conversation?
only one conversation is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bola, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this episode, on this season?
Um this episode was oh wow, okay, this is stressful. Not like but that's the boys in general. Something
Mm-hmm.
crazy is always happening. And then everything was turning the corner as per the boys, like, and then everything goes to shit. It was a pretty good episode. I think one of the stronger episodes of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I quite enjoyed it. A lot of things were looking up towards like until like last 10, 15 minutes, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, but it kind of makes sense for having the final season, so you kind of need to set up a big, oh wow, okay, this is why you have to be invested for the next season. If things were going too smooth, like you obviously want to watch the season because you enjoy the show, but like now
Yeah.
we're invested in, okay, how are they going to resolve this big mess? We said goodbye to some fan favorites, some baddies that I will always treasure in my heart, you know, but that's to say goodbye, but just know that, they're always with me.
They're always with you.
Always with me.
She's actually always with Jack Quaid. What a
Mwah.
man!
Whatever,
Just
man.
well done to that man. Tiago, what are your thoughts on this episode? And I guess, oh, actually, no, Bolu, what are your thoughts on the larger season now that the episode has happened?
It's still, I think overall it's still my least favorite season. Like I
Hmm.
always have to get that out of the way. I still think it's a good show. I quite enjoyed it. My glorious king appeared at the end of the episode. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. I was like, oh, thank God. I don't know how you're going to fit in him in, but you know, Soldier Boy gang for life. You
Okay.
know, fuck the wokes and the commies.
That's a
But
crazy
no, don't they
soundbite.
shouldn't cut this out of context. So that's how a lot of people take it.
Yeah,
Like
I was
today,
like,
they'll
what?
say, they'll say, boy, please, it was for the boys. But anyhow,
Does you thoughts on the episode, the season?
um, the episode, a lot of things occurred. Now that I'm thinking back and recalling all that occurred, it's quite a lot, you know?
Hmm.
There was everything for everybody. For a girly like me, obviously guts and gore. I was satisfied. The lovers, there was some love in there. The
like me,
action.
Like you,
yeah,
Bolu?
real lovers. No, we never die. We just multiply.
Oh my god. But
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
action, mystery, um, yeah, a lot of stuff. So I was satisfied. I thought it was a nice way to wrap up this season, I guess. Lots of open questions to tackle next season. We saw some faves. Some faves. Did we see A Train this episode? I can't believe he survived,
We
actually.
didn't see it, Trent. We'll talk
no,
about
we
that.
didn't
So
see.
Blackfist, yes, Bolu.
Sage came. A lot of stuff occurred, man. A lot of stuff occurred, man. So it was nice.
Where
In
where do you stand on the season as a
the
whole?
season overall, I mean, I feel okay with it. I saw some cool SFX stuff. The story, yeah, I don't know if it's my favorite season, but I still enjoyed the season. Like I didn't hate it, so I was
Hmm.
satisfied. Yeah,
Hmm.
I would still recommend like The Boys to watch to people if yeah.
So, Gala, your favorite character appeared, or rather reappeared. Love sausage. Or were
First
your,
of all,
your
cut it
thoughts?
out. Cut it the fuck out. That's not that's not my favorite character. Please. Please. But yeah,
Why do you
all in
like him so
all,
much?
yo,
Yeah,
bro,
what do you like?
chill. Yo, chill. Chill. Chill on that.
I
Chill on that.
mean, you don't need to be humble. If you guys have something in common, just say what you say, speak your mind.
First of all,
Well, damn.
first of all, y'all niggas are bugging right now. But that's besides the point. Back on track. I feel like it was a really good finale. It was a
Mhm.
very complete episode. They closed and opened a lot of the loops. I loved the fact that all our predictions were fucking wrong. I appreciated that because it's like we got TV brain, so it's like for the fact that they were like, fuck your TV brain, this is what you're
Mm,
Yeah.
getting. I was like, okay,
mhm.
yes, this is very interesting.
Mm.
Um I like the direction that they are going in. I already have a few predictions for like what's going to go on next season. But yeah, man, there was like Chagozim said, there was something for everybody.
Mm.
They covered like every base. Like I don't think they left anything out in this episode, honestly. And bro, I love seeing Homelander cry, bro. That shit gives me joy. Like I love seeing that nigga dejected, bro. Like that shit gives me so much joy. And I was just like, yeah, this nigga in tears, only for them to flip the switch. And I'm just like, damn, they got
Mhm.
all my niggas down, bro. This is
Mhm.
nuts. Bro, it's crazy. And I feel like there are a lot of plot points in this episode that are gonna play. Like, I mean, I don't even know how significant parts they're gonna play into next season, but I feel like there are some minor things that happen that people might just forget, and they're just gonna
Well,
come up
things
in a
like
big
what?
way.
Things like
Like
what? Let's discuss
Ashley,
that.
like Ashley
Ashley's
taking V,
power.
Ashley taking
Yeah.
Yeah.
V. Then
So
another thing
actually,
is
yeah. Okay, say them
another
and then
thing.
we'll go one by
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
then another thing is like, bro, how strong is Butcher now, bro? Because that shit
He
he did
looks
was
healthy.
crazy.
Yeah.
He's also looking
Like
healthy now.
he is
Oh yeah, he's
dangerous,
definitely looking. Yeah.
bro. He's dangerous as fuck right now, bro. Like like, bro, he ripped Newman in half. Like,
Yeah.
R.I.P. my queen.
bro, that's bro. Homelander laser Newman this episode and nothing happened.
Yeah.
He was the one trying to kill her. To be fair,
I mean, he wasn't trying to kill her, but bro, still,
We
like,
know that her skin, but like Esden, he
we know
didn't
Newman is
pierce her
particularly
skin.
tough. To be fair, we know that
Yeah,
she's
he
one of the
tore her
tougher,
apart. He didn't
tougher
necessarily
like
tear her skin.
among the soups. I'm not sure like physical strength, but I know like actual like tough. She's probably still physically
Yeah,
pretty
her
strong.
skin is
Like,
like not indestructible, but you
but
can't pierce
very
it.
up there. Probably
Yeah,
like after the likes of like maybe Homelander, maybe Soldier Boy. She's probably one of the most durable soups we've seen because
I mean, also this shapeshifter seemed quite durable, and then
as the
got
plot
choked out,
needed.
which is
To be fair,
yeah,
she was durable
and
as the
then got
plot
choked out,
needed.
which is quite
But
interesting.
like he
yeah,
literally broke Newman like a Kit Kat. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, but I mean, also like those tendrils are strong,
Yeah.
yeah,
so it's not
Yeah,
like
that
But we have a
was
new
yeah.
player.
I need some of that
yeah,
temp.
which I guess kind of went along with the theory I had a few weeks back about the rabbit because it looked like it was the
I
same
mean,
Yeah.
thing that
yeah,
was
it
that was
was
Yeah.
inside the
quite.
rabbit.
Mm,
Um, Ashley, Ashley taking V makes sense because like she's obviously very afraid, right?
Yeah.
But should she know better? This is a general question. I'm not sure if I know the
in
answer to.
that situation,
in
please.
that situation, come on, that's all
Yeah.
she could have
You just
done,
have
bro.
to hope for the best.
So
I
you think
wonder
she
what
does?
her power will
Does she
be.
not know that? Like, I guess maybe
She was
because
going to
she's serious.
die.
Fair.
Like
Yeah.
there's no
Two ways about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was either okay, I die doing nothing, or I take this V and potentially survive.
Yeah.
No, she took the
Knowing the
V.
show and the way they've played around, they fucked around with Ashley. Like, she's not gonna get flights.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
Like
she's
her
gonna be quite
superpower.
deformed. Like her skull looks like it. Like it's gonna be something that's gonna be. And I think they've also said that like they try to one have your powers reflect your mental states,
Mm,
right? Which is kind of what they did with Huey's dad. And Huey's dad was meant to reflect his mental state and also have a variation to Huey's own powers, like Bulu mentioned as
mm.
well. So I think the fact that she's taking V while very scared is not going to bode well. Like she's, yeah, I think it's going to not be great.
What do we think her superpower is gonna be?
I don't
I
know.
don't
She's
know.
scared. We need
No way to tell, honestly.
I think
No,
she's gonna have super WAP.
mental nightmare inducing.
Wait,
I
wait,
don't
wait.
know.
You said
what?
what? You said what?
No, like she can
Not
mess with
No,
people's
you,
not
minds.
not
you,
Basically,
not
you,
bro.
not
not you.
you. Chagoze, what did you
What
say?
did you
What
say?
did you say?
What did you say Ashley will have? You better say it
You
again.
better say it
What
again.
did she say? Actually, like, because
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
did
know.
hear it. What did you say?
Man, you know?
No, you
Speak
have
your
to, I
mind,
just say
girl.
it
You know.
again.
You ain't gonna speak past that like you
We're
did
not going
just
to
now.
Like,
You
silence a
said.
beautiful black queen on this pod. Speak your mind, girl.
I'm like, yeah, like
No,
just
but
say what.
like
Uh-huh,
no, but based on like, the cave
uh-huh.
Oh, you mean
So,
some
and her
freaky ass shit?
interactions,
so
Oh,
what
like
do you think her power? What do you think her power would
she'll
be?
have like super WAP or something, Just
I hear it.
Damn, man.
Ah,
15
yeah.
minutes. That's how far we went. That's 15 minutes.
No, but like it's the need to know, like if you know, you know. It's
Super
still
WAP
like
is
PG
insane.
friendly.
Hey, man.
super WAP is like. I mean, like I don't. I can see how that would be a life saving skill, but I don't think it works in this situation.
No, but like,
It's so bad I can't even put it out as a
maybe
soundbite. For like, I just have to leave it in. I can't bring it as a
let me
soundbite
just
because I don't. No, no, you have to finish your thought.
I'll stop
Maybe.
my train of thought
No,
here.
no,
No,
Sorry.
no,
maybe.
no.
Please go
Please
ahead.
No, sorry, sorry.
No, maybe.
go ahead. Go
We'll
ahead.
discuss
Let's.
in popcorn for dinner after dark.
No,
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 no.
no,
So
no, no.
no, no,
We're
no.
discussing it right
We
now.
can open it now. So, in what situation does a quote unquote super WAP help
No, but
her?
like maybe like, the WAP, the substance secreted. She can use
Jesus,
it to like
like what she spread across a super version, what she spread across Huey's
yes, and she
web
can use it to
mass.
like kill people or maybe like let me yeah.
I think you should go write this comic. Go write this comic.
I
It's
just feel like you said it's supposed to
shouldn't
be in
ex-
line with their character and she's a super freak, so I stand by that
but are you
actually.
still there?
I am, just thinking of my body Newman.
Oh my god.
You didn't deserve
Okay.
to go out like that.
Yeah, so obviously Ashley does that and we don't see anything again until we don't see anything again in the episode. So I guess
Mhm.
that's still next season. There are a few of cliffhangers like that the show kind of actually no, we'll save them for the end, where the show kind of teased us with and didn't really give any resolution with. Sagale, you mentioned how all our predictions were wrong.
Hmm.
Um, and you're right, except actually, and I hate so much to give him any credit, but Bolu mentioned last week that he believed that no one would die. Because
Hmm.
obviously when I get predictions between
Yeah.
Seven and the boys, and he said no one would die. So I hate to give him any credit, but yes, Bolu was correct in that. Um,
What's his prize?
the fact that I said it.
Gods, you
Sorry.
take me out. You fly me out to Canada,
Ooh,
you take me out. Actually, I'm going
Why?
to Canada, so you take me out. Oh no, you're in
Okay.
America again.
Yeah. I mean, when are you
Damn,
gonna
that's
be in
tough.
Canada? Well, your honeys. Will
No,
they
no, forget my honeys. Let's focus. Forget the rest. Let's focus.
also gonna come. Let's go to the outside and talk about the boys. Let this,
I'm
let this guys figure out. They have to figure it out.
just joking. I'm just joking. Half joking.
Uh,
Anyhow,
ooh,
Ooh. All right.
okay.
Might have to call
Um,
HR.
joking,
let's.
joking. Unless
I am HR.
I'm
It's
screaming.
fine. I've approved it. So let's.
This is nasty work culture. I'm reporting myself. And I'm reporting you to.
We're limited. We're a very limited company in terms of
Huh,
capacity.
huh.
So I
I'm
am
screaming.
also HR. I sent the work permit to myself and I approve it. Okay, so
Praises.
I guess let's talk about Homelander. I'm going to talk about the plan and everything. Osagalila said last week as well that obviously the idea you would believe that he said Sage was so calculating that she probably knew what would happen once Homelander found out Adrian was the mole, and Homelander is as dynamic a character he is. He's not that difficult to figure out. Like you kind of know that you might not know how he'll do it, but you know how that what he's gonna do. Like you know he's gonna be childish and react and stuff like that. But yeah, this was Newman's plan. Sorry, this was Sage's plan.
This plan.
Sage's plan was to kill Newman, frame the president for it, and then have the speaker become president. Um, what do we think about her plan? The eventual culmination of it, everything coming to Homelander basically being president now.
Um,
Um,
it's smart because, to be fair, um, the president has been gunning for Newman for a while. So like, people on surface level might feel like it's slightly contrived, but as smart as she is, they know that Newman and the president have been gunning for each other. So like, getting the evidence to prove that the president wanted that out,
hmm.
was not like, it's not too far fetched.
It doesn't have been difficult. Even if that video didn't
Yeah,
exist, like
that
she can
video
just
was
go to
a
the
bit
CIA.
like, it made me like, I was like, fair enough. That's all I'll leave it at, because
Mm,
it's not like overly contrived of him to say something like that. To be fair,
yeah.
it's not overly contrived. And now their lifeboat with like the proof of all the terrible things Newman has done is gone. Like,
Hmm.
that will really have built them out. Because to be fair, Newman has done some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
why they did it. Because in my head, I was thinking, if that wasn't the plan, why get rid of the evidence? But now it just clicked. Yes, it's because
Because that will shot the
yes,
president incredible
you
bail.
can paint Newman as a hero, and there's
Like
no evidence
she's
against him.
done
Okay.
crazy shit. Like she's killing a log, and then yeah, it was. I was like, man, I watched Supernatural, so, and well, his name on the show was also Bobby. I was like, damn, Bobby,
Actually, that's
hate to
it's a
see
good
you
thing
go
you
out
brought
this way.
Supernatural because before we talk about Sage, I wanted to mention because we all mentioned about how the last 15, 20 minutes are very good. And it just felt so much like 2010s TV, if that makes sense. Like, think about, I never watched Supernatural, but think of like the Vampire Diaries season finale, or I'm sure Supernatural was like, it made sense that Eric Kripke directed this episode because it felt very much like the way
Okay, to be fair, it did feel like like maybe like if watched season 3 to 5, it did feel like that type of finale.
a good, but in a good way, by the way. Not this is not
Yeah.
a like a this is like it was like the pop music playing underneath, and you have a montage of different things, and your favorite characters are getting into a bit, and it's just like, oh, okay, it felt it's not a prestige TV ending of a season. It's a
Yeah.
2010 to 2016 TV ending. Yeah, anyone have any thoughts on the Sage plan or even Homelander? We can talk about Homelander because one of the other. Actually, no, it's not gonna go ahead.
Hey man, bro, Sage is scary as well, bro. Why is serious? Like the boys are in serious trouble next season, bro. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. Honestly, I don't think most of them are gonna make it next season. I feel like Sage is, because like this was Sage's experiment, right? Like
Mhm.
she did literally, because I remember earlier this season we were talking about, oh, like what's her real motive, this and that, and she was just like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, she just did this shit so she could see if she could do it.
Yeah.
And she told Homelander to buckle up for phase 2. So now she's locked in for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
So like if
Mm-hmm.
she wants to take out the boys systematically, it's gonna be a done deal. Like the only wild cards are what? A-Train and Ashley. It's like, yeah, they could help in some ways, but what are they really gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
first of all, like end of episode, obviously, like the boys disbanded, but and everybody got caught apart from Starlight. And obviously, Butcher is who can catch Butcher right now. Honestly, like, let's be for real.
Mm-hmm.
Butcher is
Mhm.
doing his own day. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and like I would love to see how like Sage's like next season, or the plan plays out next season. Like obviously, like I've seen, like I know how the comic book version of the boys ended, and obviously don't have to tell you people that it's not a happy ending. So
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how like similar the ending of the show is gonna be to the ending of the comic, because a lot of the stuff they set up this season might kind of point to it ending in a similar way for people that have
Mm.
read the source material.
Yeah.
I would say yes. As terrible as the source material is, I always harp on that. Yeah, this with the transformation, with what's going on in Butcher's head, this could bring him closer to like comic Butcher.
Yeah.
considerably because Comic Butcher is like a crazy, insane, devious. Like Butcher in the show is kind of like a bad person with a bit of a heart of gold, but like Comic Butcher is
Mm.
kind of crazy
Mhm.
and like no, almost no redeeming qualities. And like this Tesla, I think that's the alter ego side of him, like the really bad side.
Kessler.
Kessler. Yeah.
Was
Kessler.
it Kessler? Sorry, it's
Yeah.
Kessler, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kessler.
Kessler.
Yeah,
Joe Kessler.
Kessler. Kessler being in control essentially now. That could point to him like he's what literally like the worst side of it. Like this could almost point to one comic butcher almost being because they're similar like
Yeah.
on like some but like butcher is much more human and like nice like some of the things that comic butcher does. I hate like all this being mysterious like but like I could see show butcher doing some of those things not to
But it's
spoil.
almost like the show has spent the last four seasons stripping Butcher of his human. Like he's always, like you said, he's always been a dick. He's always done terrible things, but they've
Mm.
steadily stripped him of all his humanity. Either it was Becca killing Becca, or even like
Losing
removing Ryan,
Ryan,
his
him and
son,
Huey never being
his
together
exactly his
because
younger. We see
Huey's
the thing
missus
about his younger
hates
brother.
Ryan's
All those
homeland
things.
his
The-
guts. Oh, probably
yeah, the
almost as
fact
much
that
as Homelander.
the fact that Huey mentions his younger brother in this episode and he basically shrugs it off. Like it's like and they've removed all his humanity to get him to that point, and they've kind of
Mhm.
added. I mean, they've not made him a good person. Let me make this clear. They've not made Homelander a good person, but they've added humanity to Homelander right over the last four seasons. Like he's not a caricature villain. Just again to shade him, he's not a good person. I love the fact that it's seeming like the person that hates Homelander's fans the most is Anthony Starr. Like he just gets every opportunity to be like, well, I mean, if you guys I can't believe you guys thought Homelander was a hero or whatever. Um, so yeah, and this I think this show and Huey has that speech right where he talks about violence cannot be the answer. If we're gonna defeat the monsters, we have to be humans, right?
Mm.
I think there will be a not happy ending because this is the boys, but I think there will be a somewhat happy ending. There will be a bitter. So there will be like people people will die. You take some losses, but like
But what does a happy ending look
I
like?
don't know. I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
I think almost all the boys would probably have happy endings except
It's like
Butcher
a
and maybe Huey.
Oh, I think Butcher will die.
No,
I
not
think
Huey. Sorry, Frenchie. Frenchie and Butcher might
yeah.
not have happy endings.
When I say
Those are
happy, I
my
don't know
two.
I don't know what a happy ending will look like, but in terms of a develop, but I think it will be like humanity has to prevail in the end.
mm,
Like
I can't hold you. I think almost all the boys are gonna die.
I
yeah, I
think
don't
so
No,
know.
too.
I'm like I think Huey makes it.
No, Huey making it for sure.
Yeah.
I
For
But
sure.
think
the rest of
Star's a
them,
boy. She sort of is. I think makes it.
Really?
Um, I think
mm,
will make it. Look, they've set up. Look, reason why I think they're all going to have happy endings except Frenchie and Butcher is from like they've been crying about Frenchie being guilt ridden for like 2 seasons. Okay, he's going to get his redemption dying. That's my bet with Frenchie.
Mm.
And Kimiko crying over him.
She
He.
spoke.
Chemical speaking
Yeah, that's
over
kind of
him.
cute. Like, but like, I was like,
Only
oh, this is
kind
back
of.
on. Like their
Oh
whole
my god.
romance. I was like, uh,
Uh
well, now it's
we'll
off
talk about their
again. I
romance.
really hate Wude is like at this point.
Mm.
We'll talk about their romance.
And then
But yeah, I don't know, like I can't say for a fact that this person is gonna get a happy ending or not. But I think my in terms of the general ethos of the show, I think it would be like humanity prevailing, quote unquote goodness prevailing, and it's like what does that look? I don't know what that looks like in Eric Ripley's mind, but I think it'd be a thing where you're like, okay, we showed that humanity vanquished the monsters, the V'd up monsters. Um Speaking of, I guess, redemption arcs, it's not really a redemption arc because we again theorized last week what could happen with Newman. Could she,
Mhm.
what I said last week, or could she be persuaded by the power of friendship? But Asagale was like, and Asagale and Blue were like, yeah, she's gonna do what's best for her, right? And that's her whole character thing. And in this case, what was best for her was saying fuck you to Homelander and getting her daughter out of there. And again, it would have worked if not for Butcher being all like fully, I
Beat
guess,
up.
evil.
Mhm.
Um, and we had to say RIP to a sweet one. Um, and her daughter ends up in Red River, which is again is like institutionalized. We're putting her back there. She's not going to come out a good person. It's not going to be Marie. Like she's probably going to end up becoming a quite demented person, a version of her mother. Like it's like again, it's just the cycle, right? You catch them, you rehab them, you release them, and then you catch them again.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and then obviously, like we mentioned, A Train didn't come back this episode, but I'm pretty sure, like I think we all agree that we'll see him next season. Um, and anyone that's listening to this, we all predicted basically that A Train would die, right, last week. And I'll tell you that we watched this. I watched this episode before that episode came out, like last week's episode came out on the podcast, but we didn't cut it out because we stand on business on this podcast. Even when we're wrong, we let it stand. So just want you guys to know that we are authentic. We have integrity. So like we're not one of those
Type shit.
podcasts that goes out and they cut it out and like, oh, we're wrong. No, sometimes we are wrong. Actually, most times we are wrong. We're here. I don't know. That's all. That's all I wanted to say. Just want you guys to know that we have integrity. Um, before I guess we talk about what happens the last few episodes. Oh, does anyone have anything you want to discuss again before we talk about like I guess the last 10, 15 minutes
I
and
mean,
what happens with the boys?
our bootleg Starfire proposed to Huey. That baby's demented as fuck.
Yeah, that was
That
sick.
was
That baby
crazy.
was sick, bro.
And she can read minds as well, which is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what makes her body transformation very effective
yeah, because
Yeah.
she can
because
actually
she has
have the
all the
like.
That's
memories.
context and
It's not
stuff.
like oh, what did I say to you 2 weeks ago? Like she's a clone. No, actually, they know. It's just that.
No, it's like
Yeah.
they. That's one thing I kind of like. Like they remove the usual out
Mm-hmm.
or like body doubles. To be fair, but
We're going to talk about. Let's use that to talk about Starlight, but quickly. Just let's be honest. Let's be honest. It's just four of us. Nobody else is listening. Obviously, Huey is happy to have Annie back, to have Starlight back.
Hmm.
But do you think a part of him is gonna miss his freak?
Probably.
Miss bro,
Niggas.
she put two fingers, and he was like, "Oh, that was up a level."
He said that was new. I ain't seen that before.
How long do you think? Okay, obviously we know what happens in the episode, but let's say they were together. Him and Annie got away together. How long do you think it takes before he asks Annie, like, so your clone, she did this thing.
He can't.
Do you want to just
I don't think you
try
should. I don't
it?
think you should try selling it
He
like that. More
cannot.
like, oh, I want to try this.
Exactly.
And
Because
it's
if
just
you
like,
bring up the
where did
clone, she's
you?
going to
Why do you want to try
her
this?
clone, her copy per se.
No
Yeah,
copy.
She's
Yeah.
going to
whatever.
lose
Yeah.
it.
She will lose
Okay,
it.
but then she's like, where do you want? Why do you want to try this? Where do you get this idea from? Like,
I know. I've been
we
watching
can.
tape.
You
Playing
know.
film.
You're like, I was. He'll be like, I was on by the Hobas or some.
So, well, I guess that's a better explanation to be like, yeah, I was doing research than to say, that time that you were away for 10 days. Also, 10 days,
Was it
20
10
times.
days?
She said 10 days,
He said
Damn,
10
that's a
days. Yeah.
and then
while.
he said 20 times.
He said less than 20. But that nigga was
Which means it
lying.
was 19. Which means we know men. Which means it
Yeah.
was 19. So 19 times 10 days while trying to stop an insurrection. Huey, I know we said you didn't have
He
any
had a lot of
survival
stress.
skills, but well done, man. Like
He
you
had a
said,
lot of stress built up. He's
fair
been
enough,
going
man.
through it. But
Fair
it's
enough.
good. She was like, you're gonna get tested for every single disease known to mankind. That's important.
Say I'm not
So,
casting
They
any
kind of resolved their
shapeshifter
drama very
syphilis.
quickly, which I kind of relatively appreciate.
Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't want that to be a thing. I
I
didn't
didn't
want
want
that
that
to
to
be like
drag
a,
on. Like,
a thing.
yeah,
There was too much going on for that to be a thing,
Yeah,
honestly.
that was like,
exactly.
I know you're angry, but like, what could he do? There's no like, he could not know that it was you. Like when the time came, he knew it wasn't
Mhm.
you.
yeah, she was kind of like, I kind of like she was. They didn't like. One of my biggest issues, like, no shade to this channel because they've given me some good shows at times. At times, well,
CW.
they've given me good shows for what
Oh yeah, which channel are you about to shade?
CW.
I
Stuff
knew it.
like that would
I
drag
knew it.
on CW
I
for
knew
like
it.
half a season,
I mean, look,
Mm,
there was a
maybe
3 year
multiple
period where
seasons.
CW was elite.
Yeah,
I
bro.
would
Like,
say
okay,
elite.
yeah.
They
Well, they're
gave
the
us some
no,
good
Vampire
stuff.
Diaries.
I would
Bro,
say elite.
let me tell you the CW formula, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
Season 1 to season 3 of any show gonna be the best shit you've ever seen in your life. But
yeah.
anything you see after that is on you.
You take
So that's why I never started things like Riverdale because I was like, you guys are like season one is
Riverdale
great. Of
wasn't
course,
good
season
for a
one is great.
season.
I was like, of course, season one is going to be great, but I know what's going to happen. But no, there was a period where this is what, maybe 2013 and above, 2014, I don't know, where you have like the first two, three seasons of Arrow, to your point, Osagale.
Arrow.
Season two of Arrow is
I
impeccable
quite
stuff. That's
like.
one.
Yeah, I haven't
That's one
watched
with
it in a while,
Slade.
but I remember it being solid for the most part.
Impeccable stuff.
It was
So
insane.
you have the first three seasons of Arrow. I think the first season of The Flash,
Yep.
right?
The first season of the
And
Flash was good,
then
and the first half of the second season was good.
Yep.
on the other end, they were giving me Jane the Virgin and Crazy Ex Girlfriend. So like I was having my superhero fix, and I was having my like somewhat quasi prestige TV like dramedy fix on the other end, and I was like, this CW might be my favorite channel. And then obviously Jane the Virgin ended, and then the Arrow became, well, Arrow became
The
Arrow,
what?
and then Flash became,
Oh.
and everything just went. I didn't think I even finished Flash.
I finished it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything you can imagine happened.
I
I'll
know I
just say
finished
that.
Arrow. Like I finished Arrow with what do you call
Are
it?
there zombies?
Arrow actually ended well. I'll say that. Arrow actually
Were there
ended well.
zombies in Flash? I'm sure there were zombies in Flash.
At some point, bro. Trust me.
There were time zombies. I know that one. Yeah.
Anything that you think happened in the Flash happened. I'll tell you that for sure.
Um. Okay, let's talk about Annie because the show uses this whole I know you and I am you and I know your memories thing to kind of help her confront everything, which was seemed a bit straightforward. And I was like, you know what, you a show like this needs to, how do I say this without sounding condescending? It needs to be, it needs to appeal to everybody, right? It's not like not everybody can, like some people need the text. A show like this cannot have everything as subtext. Sometimes you just need to say it outright, and that's fine. Speaking of like again our favorite CW shows, like sometimes you just need to say some things outright. But yeah, it's basically, and the episode ends with Annie getting her powers back, obviously, and I think it was like, which was, I don't know, three of, I don't, so you haven't seen Inside Out 2, have you?
No.
Okay, well, I guess slight spoilers for Inside Out 2 if you care about that. I was like, oh, this reminds me of like almost like Riley's journey in Inside Out 2. Bear with me, hold, I will land this. Um, because Annie had this idea of who she was, this sense of self, right? She was a good person, she was a hero. Every bad thing that she had done was either because she had to stay in the seven or her mom made her do it, right? And obviously, Riley starts Inside Out too as her sense of self is like, I'm a good person, I'm a good friend. But that's not you. You can't live life like that. Nobody's a good person. Like you can that cannot be your sense of self that I'm a good person and like every bad thing that I've ever done was because I was chained and forced to do it, right? So I think Annie has that conversation with when she's choking out. I was like, I don't know who I am. I'd like, I know I'm going to kill you right now, but I don't know who I am in the larger scales. And then obviously that, I think that helped to crash the mental block of her thinking because she was like, I'm a good person. Why am I beating firecracker? I was like, oh, you're not a good person. You're a complex person. You do mostly good things, but also you have some villain, or no, not villain. You have some dickish tendencies and some weird. And I think her accepting that she's this complex person was able to unlock her powers. Like Riley, who managed to end Inside Out too by realizing that she's a complex person and she can be jealous and anxious and envious, but most times she's a
Don't
good
kill
person.
me.
I think I landed that. I don't know. Round of
Mm,
applause for me.
decent
Um,
enough.
thank you, thank you. But yeah, Annie, any thoughts on Annie's journey and how she? Yeah,
Um, well, good for Annie, I guess. Um, should I continue being the real hater I am?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I don't know anyone whose favorite character is Annie, so I'm like, well, good for you, I guess, girl. Accepting that you're flawed and everything. Um, Finally, an Annie dub after seasons of Annie getting her ass whooped and like, ooh, scary all the time. I'm like, Annie, we're here. Oh. Even though towards towards the end of the show, I mean, I get why she ran, why she skedaddled. To be
What's she
fair,
meant to do? Stay?
She had to
come
leave now.
on, sure, she can fight now, but
Nah,
I
she has
I
to
kind of
go.
get like there's a risk that she might have lost, and both of them being captured would be
Yeah,
net
she has to go.
negatives.
She has to go. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
They
thought
might
she was
I don't
also
going to
just
know.
like
have
stand
killed
on
you.
business. The way Huey was nodding, I was like, oh, is she about to?
No, I think Huey told her to go.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
do
yeah, I
not to go
agree.
now.
It'll be
You...
funny if next season they'll be like, I wanted you to fight for me, and when you left me.
She's like, why did you run away? She was like, you nodded. I was like, I nodded for you to stay. What are you doing?
Like save me. You
Um,
said I didn't trust you in the earlier seasons. That I didn't trust you enough to save me before. Now I trust you to save me. You ran away. Ah, men can never win. Oh, it's crazy.
It's
I'm
shit
saying it's
crazy.
crazy.
Screaming.
No,
I
but
mean, look,
I
sometimes you
need
have
to
to
go with
run
that
away.
statement. I need to go with that statement because, bro, like,
Yeah.
they need at least one person that is out. You can't
She
count
flies
on.
No,
You
I
can't
agree
count.
that I
And she
agree
couldn't fly
like that
before.
was
She
just
couldn't
like me
fly.
playing
I
She
think
couldn't
around.
fly
maybe
before.
now, speaking of Annie finally getting a dub, maybe next season we can actually see her like not have to charge up to use her powers. Like she can actually like
No, it definitely seems like
be
Oh yeah,
intimidating.
yeah.
she's
This
kind of
she's
mastered it. Like that flight was pretty impressive. Like
yeah.
That was
and
like
she
the
was
first time she's
fast.
I think she's gonna be
yeah,
a
like
lot stronger
supersonic
next
kind of
season.
yeah. Um I mean, no spoilers, but we're watching House of the Dragon and a character people were saying a character should have run away. They didn't run away. So maybe sometimes you need to run away. Sometimes when you look at
That thing how trying to happen was a little. I was like, that was a good chance to skedaddle to be real, but
well, that character is never going to skedaddle because again, that
no, the
character is going to
way,
stand
but
on business.
I heard about the source material and people explained that that's where she goes. I just kind of wish it was written a bit.
Uh, anyway, okay, let me
But
go
yeah, let's
before
continue
before we
before
venture
the.
into any spoilers on that. Okay. Um, should we talk about just I guess talk about all the characters separating because I remember I think it was Kevin Feige or the Russo brothers talking about like Captain America Civil War, and they're like, when you know Infinity War is happening, when you know Thanos is coming, like then you have to break up the band, right? You have to right before the big thing happens, you need to like your characters cannot be in a good place. Your characters cannot be in a good place ready to face that. Otherwise it becomes a bit too easy. So it makes sense that like you spread out and you scatter and you capture all the boys, like I guess just before the final season, just when Homelander is assuming power, Homelander has basically militarized all the soups. Uh like I was like, I was watching. I was like, this makes sense. This makes sense that you separate these guys. You put them at you put the boys at their worst possible spot, so that we watch the final season wondering not only how did they win, but it's like how the fuck did they even get to zero before like surpassing this kind of thing that's in front of them. What was your most heartbreaking section of that whole thing?
Wait, of the episode or the boys disbanding,
Well, okay, both. Give me either. I
bro?
was talking about the boys disbanding, but give me either if you have another one from.
So the most heartbreaking shit was Ryan coming to see Butcher and Mallory fucking it all up.
Uh, Mallory, which was too eager. We haven't talked about that scene. Okay, let's talk about that scene
I
actually. Yeah,
was not a fan.
of the scene.
I knew where it was going. I was maybe I'm a person that suffers from this thing at times. Like I know where they're trying to get me to, and I don't want to go to this place yet. Like I'm sorry. Okay, Ryan overusing his strength there because he's been shown consistently that he can't control his powers. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, but like that was a like oddly enough, I think Butcher was somewhat with Ryan that like he was kind of with Ryan that like okay, this is an unfair ask. Like he wanted Ryan to do it, but if Ryan wasn't going to do it, he was going to be fine with Ryan. Like he wanted to encourage
Hmm.
Ryan, but a part of me kind of felt like if Ryan didn't want to like be the one to like fight Homelander, that Butcher might have been able to accept it somewhat. It's just that he was kind of struggling with the idea of it. I also think oddly that he's becoming the ultimate monster just so Ryan doesn't have to do it.
Yeah,
That's
Mm.
kind of like my
that's
own take of it with like I feel like I know it sounds crazy,
Okay.
but I feel like that might be part of his motivation to just do it, like so that Ryan is not forced to be the monster to take down Homelander. Because him dealing with like it's a tragedy what happened to Grace, but I'm sorry, and I'm sure Ryan is going to be guilt reading, but telling
It
a
didn't
kid that he
seem
has
that
to kill
guilt
his
ridden though.
I eventually like I feel like he just wanted to leave.
eventually,
I feel like
yeah.
I think he
telling
was
them
just
you have
angry
to
in the
kill your
moment.
dad.
Oh,
Oh
Grace was terrible in that scene. Like Grace,
yeah, it
Yeah.
was a
that was
bit.
way too much.
When she
I
Like
was
you
a
said
told
bit
this
him,
place
disappointed.
told
It
your
doesn't
people.
surprise me completely what she did there, but it didn't
no,
feel
she's the CIA. It
quite
makes
in her
sense.
character the way she treated Ryan. I like if it was a random kid I could see her, but the way she talk about Ryan, I was surprised that she would do that to
I
Ryan.
think.
I'm not, see, man.
Again,
I
not
mean,
overly like surprised. I mean, like I didn't see that coming. In her. Like it's something I could conceive.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think that considering that they will go in that direction is what I
Yeah.
used.
I
So go
get,
away. You say?
I get that, but bro, this was the last chance, bro.
Yeah.
That was like their last hope because again, Butcher is like, bro, I'm about to die. I'm the only person that can get through to Ryan, bro. Let
Mm-hmm.
me at least try. Mallory is like, bro, for me, this is the only reason you are even alive, bro. Like, I don't fuck with you on any level, but you're the only person that can do this shit, bro. Butcher is still trying to ease into it, obviously, because he's like, oh, this is crazy. And
Mm.
he still has to play on Ryan's emotions, that their father son connection and
But I
everything.
also think, sorry to, but I also think he's like he worried about Ryan's emotions. He doesn't want to just put too much on Ryan, which
No,
is
for
why he
sure.
flips out when Grace drops the rape thing. But
No,
sorry, continue.
yeah, exactly. That part of it too. So it's like you have to obviously you also have to understand where Mallory is coming from, bro. Bro, this is her whole thing. Like this has been her job since the show started. Like doing
Hmm.
the whatever the fuck she
Before
does
the
for
show
the
started,
CIA.
she
Yeah,
lost her
even
family to this.
exactly before the and she's seen her only glimmer of hope about to leave. She's trying to appeal to him, and she's like, bro, listen, I can knock you the fuck out and make you stay, but I don't want to. Like just because she has that care for him and stuff. So I personally don't think like the reaction was like that over the top, given the stakes of the situation. And
Hmm.
also to go off what Bolu was saying about Butcher doing this to protect Ryan, also that was also like one of my theories for the next season, like literally about how the show is going to end. But I don't want to say it on the podcast because it's like it has something to do with like the source
The
material.
comics, fair, fair.
Yeah, so but yeah.
I
But I
think,
felt like
yeah. Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, for her to have been doing this for so many years, she had zero tact in that situation. Like when she was dropping all those like truth bombs for Homeboy for Ryan, I was like, "This is a kid. Like, why are you telling him that the
Last
reason he's
minute, you guys
here?"
should have let him know this soon, like before.
Yeah, like why are you just dropping it in the heat of the moment? Oh, we want you to kill your dad. Oh, your dad raped your mom, which is why you're here. Oh, I'm like,
So
ma'am,
I think it's
you should
two
know better.
things. And let me just quickly create a defense
That's what I
corner
meant. I felt like they
for
were
Grace.
rushing us to get to the.
No, I don't think they were rushing us. I think the characters were rushed. You guys have to realize that like this is T minus 4 hours to the end of the world for these characters. They're like
Yeah, bro.
True.
once
There's that.
once this guy gets certified, we are done.
That is
Like
over.
he dies and Newman like this is not a thing we're planning. Like it's happening now. Like Grace was like they were trying to kill the president. Like we need to do it now. So I think, but I also think her connection with Ryan might have blinded her to how
He
not
would react.
yes, but also not as like not as she was blinded as to how deep this information was. So she probably just thought because it's coming from me and we have a friendship, he'll be able to accept it more. But she, like she, you know how when like you're close to somebody, you forget that like sometimes you treat strangers better than you treat people that are close to you
Mm,
Mm,
because like you forget that like this thing is gonna hit them this way, right? And I think she's just like, you know what, he's a strong boy, he's grown, he can handle all of this. I'm just gonna give him everything at once. We don't really have time. But Butcher kind of again because Butcher has that a bit of that distance. It's kind of like no, let's do this. And again, he knows what it means to be someone like Ryan. He's like let's do this. And I don't think Ryan wanted to kill. I think he just wanted to push her away. But again, he
you can't
doesn't know his own
control
strength
his
and
power, yeah.
that's what is going on. But I like you guys reading of Butcher doing this for Homeland for Ryan is a very very compassionate way of reading that. It's not how I read it. I like it because it gives Butcher some sympathy. I already it was like, yeah, our last resort, our only nuke is not working, so I need to carry the bomb myself. It's like Ryan is not going to be able to do this, so I need to be the one to do it. Um, I like you guys. Like I can say, you guys reading is very sympathetic, so we'll see what happens next season. But yeah, Ryan is in the wind. We don't necessarily know where he is. And then I guess we'll see what comes of. This was a very to be continued series season
They were
finale.
setting us up for the final season. Like that's
Yeah,
why I said
like
like
so
everything
many things
going
are just
wrong
out
kind
in.
of like makes
Mhm.
sense to me. It's just like okay, I guess this is why we're getting like like you want us to be excited for the final season where they're going like you know they're setting us up for the final season quite comprehensively by showing us all these things going wrong.
Yeah.
So, which is why I believe like things will kind of go right for them because the boys kind of works with either everything going wrong for them at the end of one season, but then the next season they kind of like clear the names and
Oh, the
they
boys will win. But again, it's like,
no,
what
but
does
like
that
he thinks
win look
like they're
like?
But
all
at
going to like
what
go out. I don't
cost?
think they're all going out.
Exactly.
My only bet is
Yeah.
Frenchie and
Yeah, I
Butcher.
don't think they're all going, but I think again they're not all surviving. So we'll figure out what they want to do. And I think again, like this show will probably find a way to still surprise us. Obviously, Bully, you said you watched Supernatural. I never, but you watched it, right?
Yeah,
So you've seen the thing that like Jared is coming next season.
that would be cool. I wonder which character they're going to make him
Yeah,
into.
I don't know.
Honestly,
But yeah, so by then he was like he would try. Kripke was like he would try and see if they can get them in a scene together, but only if it
I'm trying
works.
to. I
So
keep wondering how they're going to do it because I don't want it to be just a minor.
no, considering how he like dealt with Jensen Ackles' character Soldier Boy and gave him such a good role, I'm sure he would now give Jared Padalecki like a shit role. I'm sure he will probably have a good role next season. Um, I'm gonna quickly leave Grace Mallory defense corner and go join Bulu on Hating Island. But like only half of my body on Hating Island. I don't want to put this like let's talk about the chemical Frenchie thing. Um,
She shot her shot.
and it worked for her. I'm very happy for her. I'm very happy for them.
I don't personally advise
Oh my
because
god! Can you stop
you know
spreading this
bad
I also
experience
don't
gospel?
shooting your
believe.
shot. What happened?
I almost died last time I tried to shoot my shot,
It won't
and
happen here.
also
Let's
That
figure it
that
out.
that might be a skill issue.
yeah, maybe, but also
I always think that.
workplace
This is a strong
romance.
devil and angel on your shoulders thing. And some guy is like that might be a skill issue, but he's like, don't worry, it will happen here. It's just like which side are you gonna support? Are you gonna
There's
go with?
like you have no riz, no bars. I'm like fairs,
Um,
but no, I mean happy for
yeah,
her. I believe you should do that if you believe you'll survive. Uh,
you're not even saying it like
You're
you
not
can't
saying
even
with
act like you
conviction,
believe it. Like
cause
yeah, like
No
oh, but I'm
conviction
happy
behind
for
your
her.
words.
you look like you're almost
no, not
having
that
like
part. The part
Vietnam
about
War
like you should.
flashbacks thinking about it.
No,
Um, I love Kimiko and Frenchie as I've mentioned several times on this podcast. That kiss didn't move me. Them being a couple didn't move
I've
me.
lost all interest in them being a couple. Like,
I,
I'm
I do think I
sorry.
have as well. I
Okay.
think maybe there's a thing as like too slow a burn. Like I
Yeah,
am too invested in them in their friendship
yeah.
to
Like
care for them
they
being
had
in love.
burned. They had like stamped it out. The burn multiple times, and like I had actually
Yeah,
accepted that they were just guys.
I was very happy with them being a friendship couple.
Yeah,
Like I
like I was cool with it. Like I was
so
like,
when
okay,
they
you know
kissed, I was
what,
like,
fair enough.
I don't know
I'm
if
not
I
me, but
against it, but I'm like,
Friends to
hmm.
Lovers is an elite like
Literally when they
No, yeah,
kissed.
but like during the whole, they've not kind of like
built up
they
that
didn't really build
tension.
them up as lovers per se.
yeah,
Mm,
it Friends to Lovers is different when
There's build
I
up.
don't know. Yeah, because now you're telling me that it was just like I mean, Frenchie has always loved her.
Yeah, he had, but like
yeah,
He has now.
Kimiko told us that
No, but
like
I thought he had
that's
loved her as a friend.
no,
I
he
didn't know
no, he
he
loved
was
her.
like
Bro,
no, he was
no,
into
as
her. He was
let me
into her, but then she
Yeah,
kind of told him that it's not
he
like
was
that
like, "You're
between
my
us.
bro."
So
yeah, no, I
Yeah.
mean since then. So I thought like he had settled since then. I didn't know he was still
you
holding
Oh,
know us boys
flame.
now.
you guys need to
We can
understand
switch it back
something.
on quite quickly.
That is that's
Literally
fair.
the
It's
thing
always not to be fair. It's just
and
on him.
the thing with Kimiko and Frenchie is that like bro, these are two deeply broken individuals. So they're
Yeah,
not gonna react. Bro, literally when they kissed, I put in my notes, is this the time for this? Like I feel like there's
That
a
is
lot
exactly the time I am, in my opinion.
do you know when I had that? Sorry to interrupt you. Is when Annie and Huey proposed to each other and they go to the bedroom. I was like, guys, we need to be focused. What are you guys doing?
like what's
Like
going
this
on
can
here?
wait.
why do you
This
hate
can
love?
wait. No,
Mhm.
it's not love.
It's
There are
not
more
fighting
I
important
now.
things.
mean the
The
opposite
world is
direction.
literally about to
It
end.
might not.
Yeah.
It might not work out. Like let's just say we did it. Fuck it, we ball.
Not
Fair
only
enough, though. Fair
but
enough.
not only are you going to have sex when the world is burning, you're not trying out new things. I'm like, is this the time for this? For
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
real.
because when else are you going
yes.
to?
The
Like, you're
adrenaline,
not
the
really giving
tension, the
proper.
You're the
stress.
one that's meant to be
Yeah,
saving the world. But sorry,
Yeah.
essentially Kimiko
love
and
can
Frenchie.
wait.
Yeah, I mean, like, so
Okay.
them kissing, I'm like, okay, fair enough. This is going to their new saga starts next season. Then
Mhm.
then they get separated, and Kimiko
Mm.
shouts, and it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fucked up.
Kimiko shouting the first time I watched it, it had a delayed reaction to me.
Yeah, it didn't
Or
click,
rather
right?
on me. It didn't click. Like she said no. I was like, oh, someone said no. And I was like, oh no, fuck. She said no. Like
Yeah,
she's never spoken. Like it was like it hit me in stages where I forgot that she's mute. And I was like, oh, this is really painful. That's my most heartbreaking part of the episode. I was like,
Mm,
yeah, this is really obviously you have, and it makes sense that like it's Sam because like which other person, which other soup can hold Kimiko down apart from
mm,
the
yeah.
guy who clearly feels nothing.
literally toxic.
Um, and then obviously Kate makes Frenchie go to the
I wonder what she told him.
get in the van.
Yeah, most likely.
No, I read
Oh,
her lips. So I was get in the van.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she.
professional TV watcher. The soup. that was with Frenchie and not Frenchie, sorry, with Huey and Starlight that was doing the metal thing. Have
The
we seen them
psychics.
before?
Yeah, I think we saw them at that facility where they had all them guys.
So during in Gen V?
Not in Gen V, in season 2 of the boys.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Um, okay, any parts of the episode you want to discuss before we just throw out some random tidbits?
Bro, Noah,
Um,
Noah, Noah getting a
Oh yeah,
bone.
his,
Noah
his
getting
mother burner.
a murder boner. That was vintage the boys, because what the fuck was that?
yeah, this that kind of put Noah squarely in the, well, we can't say this one come
Yeah,
from me.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, this is him.
Him and the
Like,
deep are literally off the deep end. Like, they're
well
probably going
done.
to have very painful deaths
Pun,
in the
pun
next season.
intended.
They're going to go out very brutally. That's my own bet with that. Because again, with like people like maybe A Train or Maeve,
Hmm.
even to a degree, Lamplighter. I don't know, like people who how do I put this?
They were somewhat
Okay,
heroic.
the Lamplighter was terrible, but like an element of humanity in him. Like
Yeah.
Hmm.
even with his girl, I don't think he meant to like do what he did, even though it happened. That's with Lamplighter. A Train did terrible things, but you could see that there could have been a decent hero there if what
Hmm.
Maeve was always decent. It's just that she got trapped in the wrong side
And
of
got quite
things.
jaded.
But these two, there's no saving, there's no hope for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
will. Yeah,
they should be called like
100%.
Captain Nigeria because I'm very like they're very twisted people, very very hopeless individuals,
It's saying random shot. But deserved. Yeah, I would watch their spin-off body cop show though.
bro,
Because bro,
bro.
Bro.
that'll
He
be
was
the
almost
title,
giving dude,
bro.
"Where's my car?" at one point when they were
Yeah, I
acting,
was like, yeah, he was like everybody's named Ash. He was like, bro. Chase Crawford's ability to make it's almost like that wire scene where they say fuck for different things, or like to make bro sound and mean something different with each pronunciation should be studied. Um, I love when the actors, especially our boys actors, as in members of the boys, get to play comedy because they don't really do it that often. Like reacting to like Annie being the shapeshifter or like them being engaged, like the way his face is moving is so funny.
Too funny.
Uh, when they come back to the shed and like French is like, "What happened?" and then Kimiko smiles. It's just like, "Oh, you are psychopathic, aren't you?" Which was the other one? Oh, when Andy basically forgives him and he's like, "Fuck yeah, Huey," and he's so happy because like he's back. It's like, I get when I like when they get to play happy. Um, Chagazem quickly, SFX corner. Anything you want to shout out apart from I guess the
Um,
obvious of
Today, I
Newman's
mean,
death?
yeah, we saw a beautiful breaking of the body like a Kit Kat. Crazy.
Beautiful is an interesting choice of adjective, but we'll go with
Yeah.
it.
Even Butcher's extensions, that was cool too, to be fair.
Hmm.
Obviously, my shape shifting babe tearing the skin and whatnot. Did she do that this episode? No. She had to go
No,
and
but it
recharge.
was tearing.
It was
I
still, she
can't.
has to go
Her
re up.
cheek and her
Yeah, a
fingers
little
were yeah
bit.
to go re up.
It's cool. I really want to talk to whoever created her, actually. That's an interesting
Speaking,
concept.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Anyone else have any final things? Like I look, I got quite protective of the boys, which is weird because it's not even an underdog show. But I get because I don't like seeing on what do you call it on based criticisms.
mm.
I think this is objectively the worst season of the show, but that doesn't make it a bad season of TV.
Mm.
Like I think, oh my god, Bulu, put your hand down. No, I'm not like
You guys called me a hater when I pointed it out
no,
consistently.
no,
No,
I was just
that's
no.
not.
speaking my truth, and
Bolu, we call
and
you a hater because you're a hater, bro.
Yes,
look, you guys are on the same page as me. It's not easy
no,
being this cold.
no. It was not. No, no, because you were painting as like this was a bad season of TV
No,
at the
I
start.
said it was the worst season of the show, but still, I always prefaced it
Yeah, but
that
you
it
didn't
was
always,
my
you
least
all have to
favorite, but I still
you
think
didn't
it
have
was
to
a solid
always say
good
it was the
show.
worst. No, no, I think like but they've all been great seasons of TV. Like it's still a good. This is not a bad season of TV, but people online actually want to make it seem like it's a bad. It's not a bad season of TV. I'm sorry,
Not
Yeah.
bad at
but
all.
like even this finale is quite a good example of the entire season because this finale is quite. low key. It's very not low, very high stakes actually, but low key in terms of like there's one fight and it's a one on one fight. It's not really like it's you can't compare it to like the way last season ended,
Hmm.
Mm,
or the Maeve Stormfront Annie Chemical fight of season two. Like there's usually that big multiple superhero fight, but this one was because this was a more low key season of the boys. Definitely, that's just the truth. And
mm,
so I enjoyed this season. The boys will always be enjoyable, even if it was bad, which it hasn't been so far. It will still be enjoyable because it's just so funny and there's so many things coming at you. Even if you don't like or enjoy one joke, there'll probably be another one in like 2 minutes or another visual gag or reference. So yeah, I think it's what season of the show. I don't think that's saying that it's a bad season. I enjoyed the season quite a lot. I like some of the ideas I tried to go for. Some of them might have felt too real just because of when the show is coming out. Like the show is coming out 3 months before an election, so that's a bit unfair in terms of its timing. But like, I don't know, I liked what he was able to do and the way they've carried certain characters and introduction. I think the introduction of both Firecracker and Sage were successful, in my
mm.
opinion. I think they both brought different things. But yeah, any final thoughts you guys want to share about the season?
Bro,
We support.
the beginning of this episode was so funny because they were like they cancelled A-Train's movie because they realized they would make more money
Better
from the
right
tax
off.
write-off. Then they had that All Lives Matter ad, and the DP is like, "I'm responsible for racism."
Yeah.
This show is stupid as hell, bro.
It is. And also, we support freaks and whores. Just don't forget to get tested regularly. Word to our
That
girl,
Where
do
it's a
we?
Starlight
Starlight.
Baby.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we do support freaks.
I,
I
I
don't
don't
think I
support
use
Annie's
the
though.
word.
I don't support. Sorry, I don't support Ashley's though. That's scary. That's scary.
I mean,
I can
You
support it
can't.
if everybody's a
You need to step up. You
consensual
need to be able to
adult.
match the
yeah,
freak you meet to.
No,
yeah.
no, you don't. You don't. No, no, I disagree. You don't need to. If the freak pass you, tell them he pass you. You go away. If you tell
Do,
them
do your day.
yes, this is not like. Unfortunately, we might have to part ways because I just cannot do that. That is fine.
It's true.
Same.
Please do not go anywhere that you think you should be because you think you want. No, sometimes it's not for you. That's
Nah,
fine. Let them, as long as they're all their consenting adults. Let them do whatever they're doing. You don't have to be involved, please. If it's beyond you, it's beyond you. Let anyone that is listening. Um,
Also, stay true to you.
but also be open. Be open to new things, as Huey was in this
Yeah.
episode. He said two fingers was it was unexpected but good.
Should try everything at least once. And
Well,
then,
not everything.
not everything. Never try crack.
oh, yeah, never try. Yeah, never that. Hard
Never try
drugs.
crack. Bolu, any final thoughts?
Um, I'm kind of excited for the next season. I feel like the writers will have heard the noise about this season. Um, I wonder how they will incorporate some things in Gen V and how some things in Gen V will incorporate to the
The
boys.
boys.
Um, RIP chance. Um,
Mm.
yeah, and I
Mm.
still like this season though. Before you guys don't write me off as a hater, I actually still quite like the season overall.
Just remember that you said this on the podcast. So if I start seeing you tweeting recklessly, I will just
No,
bring out the audio clip.
I've not tweeted bad about this season. I just feel
I
like
know I
I
said
just said it's my least favorite season.
if you start tweeting recklessly, like even 2 months time, you're like that was a terrible season. I'll just bring
No,
out this clip of what you just said.
I'll never tweet that that was a terrible season. I was just my least favorite. And plus, they brought my glorious
Some
king
point
back at
back.
the end. The T is
How
my
would
Glorious.
you
glorious
feel?
king,
How would you feel if
the
like
one and only soldier boy.
how would
That's
you
why
feel
we're
if
here,
like
baby. So
season five
just him
episode
being
one?
there, he added a 0.25 for 10 seconds.
How do you feel in season five episode one starts with Homelander killing Soldier Boy while he's still asleep?
That ah, I don't know. Mm.
You would hate that
I'll be
so
very
much.
underwhelmed
You would hate that
unless
so
my
much.
boy got into some crazy things behind the scenes and they have to kill off his character.
Yeah. Mm.
I just don't see the because you could have kept him in the fridge
Mm.
regardless.
That's not what is going to happen. I'm just saying, considering how much you've staked on his return, it'll be so funny if that's
Uh,
what happened.
I'd be quite irritated. Soldier Boy is literally my favorite season character from the third season. Like
Yeah.
every scene he had was gold. Every promo of him, gold.
His cameo on Gen V Gold.
Go
Um,
and so him and Jared, like I don't see how the character. I really hope Jared has a good character. I don't see how they will play off each other because I was quite a big fan of the first like 6, 7 seasons of Supernatural, and I kind of like fell out of it. Um,
did you finish it?
I had other things to do, like
What did you do?
sleep.
12 seasons? 13?
13.
15. Was it 13?
I think it was either 13 or 15. I'm not
I
100
think it
percent
was
sure.
15. Because I remember being astonished because the show could have wrapped up after the fifth season.
That was when
According
Cricket
to,
left now after season five.
yeah, and that went on for 10 more
Um,
seasons.
we
It's kind of,
saw 10 more seasons is insane. I'm sorry.
yeah.
10 more years. We saw, speaking of long running shows, we saw Jeffrey Dean Morgan this episode again. Ferguson, did you see him? The guy that plays um
He plays Negan in The Walking Dead, and I love The Walking Dead.
so I'm talking to Ferguson
Oh,
yesterday. She's talking about how she loves
Yeah,
Walking Dead. And she was like, oh, she stopped watching when I guess
he
spoiler
killed
episode happened
Glenn.
like almost 10 years ago when Glenn
Damn, a
died.
lot of people really were hurt by Glenn's death, though. That's
I
interesting.
cried. It
Glenn's dead was
was,
a lot. I
I
remember
mean,
watching that in real time
Oh, I
because
wish I was there
yeah,
to make you feel better. I'm sorry. Winks.
you niggas need to take this
but
outside,
what's
man.
going
Please
I
take
on?
this
don't know,
outside.
man.
Um, no, because I remember Glenn thing. We waited like the whole summer,
That was
three,
a
four
big
months,
deal.
three, four
Yeah.
months
Yeah,
to see who had died, and then it was not Glenn, but then Negan killed Glenn on top, and it was just like
yeah,
that was a lot. And
it was
obviously Glenn
actually
was
a
like
lot.
fan favorite at the time.
He
Anyway,
was the fan favorite. I think he was
Yeah,
like top two, top three most popular.
yeah,
And he was
sure.
in the he was also like a good guy. He was the only
mm,
like most of the other characters in The Walking Dead by that point they had gotten quite like darkened by the world.
yeah.
Glenn wasn't like
He
he wasn't
bagged
like
Maggie, he bagged
he was
Lauren
quite
Cohen.
like obviously he
So
was
you're
like
like,
aware of the world, but he was
I guess
still
we can all do
relatively
it.
a good guy. But yeah, they killed off Glenn.
You're
Um,
still chasing milk, Blankly.
I'm
Yeah,
just
man.
saying
That's
he
kind of
was
crazy.
aspiring. He was aspiring that like
That's kind of
uh,
crazy.
That's crazy.
anyway. So I'm talking to Gozem yesterday, and I'm like,
But not
she's
just
like,
going to
oh,
skip past this
to stop.
spoiler. You need help.
No, it
Man,
wasn't the milk. It was
they
the fact
just
that
said you were
a
milk.
pizza delivery boy like Glenn could aspire for people like her, a farmer's daughter. Anyways, um, speaking of milk, so I'm talking to Gozem, and she's like, she died when she stopped watching when Glenn died. I was like, oh, do you know who killed Glenn? And she's like, yeah, Negan. I was like, okay. And this babe has been watching The Boys for 2 months and did not
Was it
realize that it was
Cupid
the
had
same
that?
person.
I knew his face. I just couldn't remember where I knew him
Wait, to
from
be fair,
because I
it's been
hadn't
a
thought
long
of
time.
The Walking Dead in a
Also,
very long time.
random segue. Seeing Homelander break down again when he was out of his depth was very funny. I think
Bro,
Yeah.
anytime
I love
Homelander
seeing him cry,
out of
bro.
his depth and is stressed out because of between Atrium's betrayal and like everything going wrong,
Yeah.
Homelander being out of his depth and starting to like panic and like to the revert to like a child. It always cracks me up. Because like
Uh,
underneath all that bravado is still that young boy trapped in the lab. That's actually kind of sad. Like as a side, like
Yeah.
the way he like that whole thing he's constructed, seeing it like crumble is one of my favorite things. Like him
mhm.
panic and cry, and it's crazy because he treats these people awful, but
His
betrayal
scene.
really hurts him. Like
Yeah.
His scene with Firecracker when he told her to scoot. It cracked me up. He was like, "No, more, more."
He was
And
like,
she was just
you're
looking at
coughing
him.
all over me. Like his face
Also,
was so disgusted.
Yeah,
he
he's
clearly
so
like he was
funny.
clearly so comfortable drinking her milk, like in front of the deep end. Obviously, they can't do anything, but it wasn't like trying to hide
Yeah.
it.
No, but
That's
they
like
know like that's what he's on right now.
yeah, but like it wasn't a thing. Like I think it was one of those things that was an open secret, but like he had never. It's not as if he was drinking milk in front of them.
He doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
doesn't.
"Y'all know who I am."
He dragged me looking at that and said, cilantro.
And she gave him that look like like they were playing games like oh are you guessing
Yeah.
what I was like oh fucking hell this guy's man. Anyways, okay, let's wrap up there. Anything you
Mm.
guys want to say? There's no second chance. This is it. This is the end of the run.
Thank you for rocking with us, hotties.
Thank you. Yeah, if you're still listening, thank you so much.
thank you for joining us.
RB to Newman. She was a baddie type shit. Yeah.
She was somebody. I see what's Samir. Sorry, now. Also, wait, no, this girl has a father. Why didn't you just take her to Samir? What? I know he has
Huh?
one leg, but still, like, why did you take her to Red River?
Only
Um,
I think only Newman knows where Samir is. Sorry.
uh,
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also you're right, Bodo. This guy didn't come back.
who?
Um, Stan Edgar. Obviously, he'll come back next season now that Newman
A
is dead.
train.
No, Stan
No,
Edgar.
Sanega.
Oh, Sanega definitely like Newman and like Butcher is in his crosshairs because even though he would have been down to kill Newman, someone else killing Newman is a whole different.
Yeah, yeah. It's like one of those things where I'm the one allowed to shout at her. Okay, let's wrap up there. Thank you very much for
Okay.
listening, guys. We hope. I feel like if you've listened to us this far, you probably at least liked this season. Um,
Or you liked one of the guests or hosts
that's fair.
we
Yeah,
seen.
you probably liked one of the other three.
It
I'm
was
sorry
sweet.
that you had to
Uncle, why are
stick
you
with
doing
me.
this now?
Doing what?
Anyway, continue. It's okay.
Okay. Thank you much for listening. Join us not next week, but join us on other podcast platforms where we're covering other things. House of the Dragon, The Bear tomorrow, 2 episodes, probably about 3 hours combined. Talking about the entire season. Industry back in a bit. Slow Horses back in a bit as well. They're recording. We just got a confirmation that Severance is back in January. If you haven't watched Severance, go watch Severance. It's a great
Hmm.
season of TV. And yeah, we're doing all of that, covering all of that across many episodes. And of course, I'll be joined whenever I'm back by Oscar winner Daniel Kaluuya. Bye,
Period.
guys.